What are you hearing
my
in the
first
chatter
deal.
about Mish Village? I mean, this is like your baby here, Greg. What's going on?
No, I have no
Right.
inside track on what's going on. I'm just
Mm.
kind of watching and hoping they finish it off because at the end of the
What
day,
a shame that would be. God,
it's gonna be a very cool development. I have confidence that it'll get finished.
we'll let you do it.
I have a question about another project that you were working on. So Mirvish Village, right?
Yeah.
West Bank has got a little bit of fire thrown at them recently about
Finances.
their books and their finances, right? We had another
So
receiver.
they say. Yeah.
We had another receiver go under receivership. Van Dyke. I don't know them as well, but they were doing Grand Central Mimico, which I heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got a
Um,
file right on the other side of the rail corridor, so I've been keeping an eye on that one. It's interesting.
That's
what are
near
you hearing
my
in the
first
chatter
deal.
about Mirvish Village? I mean, this is like your baby here, Greg. What's going on?
No. Oh, I
This is
no,
your
I don't know.
legacy here. You know, we need to find a solution here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of removed from all that. Like I haven't I think any of the people that I worked with for the most part that were on Mirvish, like on that side, I I haven't really. They're not. I don't think they're there anymore. I don't think they're at West Bank. So I have no
Right.
inside track on what's going on. I'm just
Mm.
kind of watching and hoping they finish it off because at the end of the
What
day,
a shame that would be.
it's
God,
gonna be a very cool development. I have confidence that it'll get finished. You know,
they'll
it's
get finished.
yeah,
Mhm. The buildings stay,
and
but the owners don't.
yeah, it's mostly up, right? There's a bunch of I don't know what they're like inside. But I went and toured the thing when it was when they topped off the tallest building, but they hadn't put any of the walls on yet, and that was wild because they all the tower floor plates, like the actual floor area of each floor, they're far smaller than just about anything else that gets built in Toronto. They're all 500 square meters, where most of Toronto's are 700 or 800 square meters. So
Why?
you're
Why?
standing there, and because they could fit 5 towers on the site that way
Hmm.
as opposed to four. And
Mm.
they all the units are a little shallower and more window coverage, I guess. I don't know. It was I mean the design was cool. So
Hmm.
it would be a shame if that stalls for a significant amount of time because I yeah, I'm looking
There's only
forward
so many
to
projects
checking
that
that
we
out.
can have like go defunct at the same time. You know, like there's only so many people who
Yeah.
are going to be able to come in and take over and do what's necessary to get these things done, right?
Well, it's interesting. I got 2 or 3 calls in the past week from people who are looking at sites that are under a bit of distress, and
Mm-hmm.
they're able to tie them up for a significant period of time conditionally, and they want to get us to go through a process just to see if the city's going to support what they want to do on the site or not. And if they get a good feeling, then they'll
Mm.
probably close, and if they don't, they'll walk.
Are
And I
these
think there'll be
zoned
more of that.
sites? Are these already zoned, or they're not
They're
zoned yet?
no, they're some of them are at various stages of the process.
Like
Or
how
somebody
many
picked them up with the intention to
rezonings?
develop.
Sorry, how many rezonings are you seeing? Because I see like this big crater in the market happening where all these guys that got 15 stories are now going back in for 25 or 30 or something crazy. Like
Yeah.
all this stuff that's supposed to come on the market is just staying in the application process because things have changed so drastically now. Like how many people are coming to you to go, hey, like, do you think we could get another 15 stories now?
Well, I think a lot of people are thinking that, whether it's to kind of, add a bit more, value to the project, or because they're in an area like they're in an MTSA where they might have got their approvals 4 or 5 years ago, and they're like, well, everybody else is coming in 10 stories higher than me, so I'm going to increase
Crazy
what
not
I
to.
can do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we get a few calls about that for sure. I think a lot of people are thinking of, and you see it too. Like people will go to the committee of adjustment, and they'll request this stuff. Whether it's 3, 4, 5, 6 floors, um, and a bunch of people have been successful with it. I think the one got
80 at
10 more
first.
floors.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah,
got
they
like
got a
yeah,
bunch. Yeah, so they
11,
went that
12
route
more.
as well.
Yeah, it
Those guys are going to have
seems,
to go to 120 to be able to
but it's
make
it's
sense of that place.
but it's one thing when you do it like the one did it during construction, right? And they had planned to do it because they must have planned that the structure could hold another God knows how many floors just in case, it worked their
I
plan,
sure, I
right?
sure hope they did. Yeah,
Well, we'll see, I guess one day, right? But one day we'll see. But the
maybe.
reality is that a lot of them they're zoned or very close to zoned, and it's been 3, 4 years since the process started, and now all this new stuff has come up, and they're like, Okay, well, fuck, I'm not going to stay at 20, even though this looks great at 20. If I know it'll take me one more year and I'm going to go from 20 to like, these are some crazy jumps we're seeing on a lot of these sites, right?
Yeah.
If I'm going from 20 to 30, I mean, imagine if my performa worked at 20, what the hell the numbers look like if I can add another 10 stories, right?
Yeah, well, that's what people are thinking. But I think it's kind of a continuation of really what happened over the past 10 or so years was values were rising and rising. That, you know, if your project got delayed a year, you'd probably come out better on the other side anyway, because all of a sudden you're selling the units for that much more. Like, I watched a lot of sites go through the process, and it took a while, and people complained, oh, it's taken forever and all that. But it, you know, once you're actually out there selling the units, you're probably selling them for a much higher price per square foot than you would be if you got through the process as fast as possible. And not saying we should slow stuff down, but I think now that isn't happening. You know, you don't have rising values papering over mistakes and delays, so people are resorting to asking for more floor space to help shore up budgets. And so it's
right,
it makes
faster
sense.
and faster process times. Yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.